Tucker Viemeister is an iconic American industrial designer, possibly best known for his work on OXO Good Grips kitchen tools at Smart Design, the company he helped found in 1979. He also founded the lab at Rockwell Group and was VP of Physical Design at the digital agency Razorfish, and before that at Frog Design. His collaborations over the years are too numerous to mention, and to top it all off, he was named after a very famous car. Tucker has also been a friend of Remo for a very long time. His toothpaste collection was featured in REMORANDOM 1. On short notice, Tucker has agreed to talk with me about a bunch of interesting things. Hello and welcome to REMORANDOM, a celebration of everything interesting. I'm Remo Giuffre.
And I'm Tucker Viemeister, something that's interesting.
Well, here we are. Hi, Tucker. It's Monday morning in Sydney and it's Sunday evening in New York City, right?
That's right.
Oh, and what day is it today? Goodness, I forgot.
Yeah, it is Sunday, and I have proof.
Let me check the New York Times.
Yeah, there we go. Does it say Sunday?
What's happening?
Well, we're having some demonstrations in LA.
Yeah.
And
it's like we're back in the 70s.
Yeah.
I know.
Do you think I bought this place just for you? No.
I've stayed at your place long enough to know that paper is part of the morning routine, along with the apple cider and the oats and the fruit and the glass of water. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for the impromptu acceptance of the invitation. My co-host, Claudia, is busy this week filming the third season of like some...
Hold it.
And what?
You mean I'm the co-hostess today? I'm not the guest?
No, you're the special guest.
Okay.
Phew. Anyway, Claudia is filming the third season of Antiques Down Under. And I thought it was a good opportunity for me to talk about a couple of things. Firstly, from the first book, as you can see, this is Remo's copy where he scribbles things that might need fixing on a reprint. There's the chapter on your very famous toothpaste collection. There you are. We'll get to that, and I'll be putting, an image of it up on the screen. And then we can also kind of, talk a bit about you, your name, and its relevance. But anyway, so introducing you, Tucker Viemeister, very old friend. I think we met probably back in 1988 or 89 when you were working at Smart Design, and you had the messiest desk in the studio, but you were doing the smartest work. So, I know I just spilt a little bit of ginger tea on my lap there, but never mind. Did you have the toothpaste collection back then? When did it?
Well, I started it when I went to Finland, the happiest country in the world, in, I think, 1989 or something like that.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
And I saw toothpaste with regular toothpaste, but the name on it was the same length as the tube, and I thought that was hilarious. So then I got it, and then I started realizing like every country had their own toothpaste in a tube. The tube was a consistent thing. The name was the oddball thing, and also the toothpaste was, reflected their nation,
their culture.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to this, but is there big differences in terms of taste and texture? And
oh yeah, not texture. Right. It's all the
No.
same kind of, whatever you call it, like paint, but the flavors are all over the place. Like German toothpaste tastes really medical, like it's really going to clean your mouth, and French toothpaste is delicious. It has subtle flavors and stuff.
Ooh.
So, and then it goes from there. Russian toothpaste, you don't know what's in it.
Right.
And, so
And
I just,
we're probably similar to the US and maybe even England in it's like minty fresh. Yeah, that's the paradigm, right? Mint fresh.
yeah, but not necessarily like, I got some weirdo ones in Japan, which are like salty and like really,
Right.
I don't know. It's like more salty than the ocean.
Right, right. And
So
then there's the
it's another
texture.
kind of roughness.
Yeah,
But they
because the
also have
texture
like,
thing, sometimes they have like charcoal and stuff in there, right? So it's a little bit
yeah, you
gritty.
don't notice that.
Yeah, right.
It's not like bubble tea. So
Anyway, so it started in the late 80s, early 90s, and just gradually when you were traveling for you, I mean, you are sort of the quintessential industrial designer, and you've worked for a lot of big firms, and you've done a lot of your own work, and I imagine that that's involved a lot of traveling over the years, different conventions and conferences and stuff. And there's always a chemist or a pharmacist to pop in and scan the toothpaste. And what's the criteria that you would use to decide what to buy?
um, there's not much criteria except for that I can't remember if I had that before. That's the main thing.
Right.
And but the other trick is trying to figure out if it's toothpaste or a hair cream or something else. So you
Oh,
have to
that's a
look
key.
for cues.
Or what do you call it? Preparation H.
Yeah,
Hemorrhoid cream. Hemorrhoid cream.
yeah. All
You don't
any of
want
those.
to.
They
You
come in
don't
the
want to.
same tube. So the trick is like, are there toothbrushes near the display, or does the package have a tooth on it?
Right.
But
Dead giveaway.
yeah,
Dead giveaway.
yeah. I
Does it have
hope.
a tooth on it or an anus on it? that,
Yeah.
that would be the
I don't
that's
think
the
Preparation H has a picture on it.
but it's got that word H for
Yeah.
H stands for what? Hemorrhoids. Yeah. So anyway, I've got some photographs which I'll sort of put in so people watching this on YouTube or Spotify or now Substack has the video version of this podcast, so they'll be able to see the method of affixation of the toothpaste tubes to the wall, which is also kind of beautiful and functional. It's just a simple nail, and what do you call those bendy back clips?
I don't know. They're just
Bendy back
they
clips.
have some kind. No, not bendy back clip. I should have a
Anyway,
box of them around here. But
anyway, so that
seat
clasps onto
lamps
the.
or something. Yeah.
And when I tell a story of the collection, because we'll get to the fame of the collection in a minute, when I tell a story of the collection, I kind of imply that you're standing there thinking, what am I going to brush my teeth with today? Finland, Czechoslovakia, Russia. But yeah, there's a clip, folks. Bendy back. Because in truth, the romantic vision is of you there diving between tubes and choosing different pastes for different days. But in reality, I'm sure you just use the same old toothpaste every day. I mean, be
Oh
honest.
no, that's not the case. I usually first of all, once they're up on the wall, I don't use them anymore unless it's an emergency. But I usually have two or three tubes of different ones there. And coincidentally, my daughter Jo brought me a tube back from Spain recently.
Right.
So I opened it up and put it down there. So I have four tubes, and it makes the decision process much more
Oh.
difficult.
What's the
And
Spanish paste like? Is it medicinal or is it?
nah, it tastes pretty normal. It had
Normal
a
stuff,
weird
right?
name though, but
Right.
the point is that you having too many choices is a problem.
Yeah.
And it's a marketing thing of like you have like all the colors to choose from,
Mm.
but no one chooses all the colors, so it becomes and the customer gets dragged down and trying to make a decision of which one to buy, and then decides, man, never mind, I'm not going to get
Yeah.
one.
I know.
So I
So what do
realize
you
it's a
think?
real thing.
So the toothpaste wall is a beautiful, installation, sort of, and a functional installation, and it's. I think the appeal is both its visual interest and also the fact that, at least theoretically, it's kind of living, breathing, and functional on a day to day. It's a machine. It's a tooth international tooth washing machine, as well as being anything else. And it has attracted a lot of interest, not just from me. Every time I come to your place, I have to go and like check out if anything's changed. But
And do you
where
bring
does
me a tube of toothpaste? No.
no? But in future,
Yeah. Okay.
in future, I won't just bring you the latest volume of the book. I'll bring you toothpaste. Um,
Great.
because I have a feeling it's been featured in the New York Times and all over the place. Where is it? How many,
Yeah.
idiot bloggers like me have kind of approached you and asked to come and photograph your bathroom?
Not that many idiot bloggers, but a few of them. And but it was in the Wall Street Journal once, and a real journalist came and reported on it. And I was going to be on CBS one day, but the it didn't make the cut. But
Uh,
they also some I a bunch of students came in here one day, and one of them blogged it, and I found out about it later, and I found out that she had 1.5 million views of it. And I'm
ooh,
like, wait, what? How can I get in on this? But there was, you know,
it's
that was it.
yeah, it's remarkably appealing. What about Alex Kalman and Museum? Is he? I think you've lent some of your toothpaste to.
Oh no, I donated them to the permanent collection of the museum, and so, but I keep hoping that one day that he's doing a new installation right now. I hope that I go down there and I see like, oh, look, he put the toothpaste in again. But
I've written a story about Museum for Memorandum 5, which is coming out later this year.
great.
I kind of spoke to Alex about it, and I'm hoping to get him on this podcast at some stage to talk about the past, present, and future of that. So there was one particular tube of toothpaste that had a beautiful smile on it, and I know that I appropriated that with your permission and merchandised it on all manner of t-shirts and mugs and things like that. Do you remember the country that one came from?
Yeah, that's it's Italian, and you didn't actually just appropriate it. You asked me to design a T-shirt, and I said, "Oh, I'll put that smile on it from the toothpaste," because I had. This shows how long ago this was. I've made a Xerox of it and then faxed it to people like as a little
Yeah.
it's a happy day today, so you got a smile in your fax machine.
I think I might have the fax somewhere, although you know what happens to fax paper over time. I think it's
Yeah.
faded. Like it's more Shroud of Turin than it is Smile at the moment. But
You might have used the fax as the artwork for that T-shirt.
yes, I did initially. It started off being just black and white. Then we got visually greedy and decided to colorize it, and even I think we kind of smoothed it out and made it more sort of realistic. Maybe you were disappointed with that. I forget, but anyway, it's been good to us.
Yeah,
It's
I
been
think
good to both of us.
yeah, and having a smile on your chest is nice, right? I think it makes people a little happier.
Yeah. What's the lately I've been seeing you wearing a yellow t-shirt with a slogan on it. I'll find a picture of it and put it up here in the edit. But what does it say again?
I think it says form follows happiness, which is the slogan of the company I'm working with, which is called multiplayer.studio. And the company believes that happiness is good business. So I love the idea
Well,
of that.
that's a very Tucker concept. So, okay, I'm sorry that Tucker Carlson has infected the the cool of your first name, but can you just give us the story of how you ended up with that name?
Well, I don't know if it's ended up, but my dad's an industrial designer, and he was working on designing the Tucker car, which, hold on.
Oh, he's off to. I think Tucker might
I
be
have
getting the
a
book. Oh,
no, I
oh
have a
goodness!
model of the car.
Oh,
It's
fantastic! We need to see the
it,
front though, because that's the most
yeah,
distinctive
that's the
thing, right?
most. So the front of it has three headlights,
Yeah.
and the center one turns when the car turns, so you never have to drive into a dark corner. But
Oh,
my
that's
dad
amazing.
is credited with designing this the front bumper, which is a
And
lot when you design a car.
because this was
Yeah.
back when, what year? Remind us.
It came out in 1948,
Right. And
but
there's a movie. There's a movie. The Tucker. What's it called? Tucker, the man and his
and
vision,
his
or some,
dream
and his dream.
by
Um,
Altman.
yeah. And did you think that the movie was true to the story, or
Well, I was not there when the story happened, so my dad said, yeah, it was pretty close to the story. And one time I went to Japan, and they introduced me. I was speaking. They introduced me, and they said that I was the son of Preston Tucker, the guy who
yeah?
started the car company. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm not the son. I'm the son of one of the designers. And they go, oh, but we saw the
Bummer.
movie and you look just like him. And I'm like, that was Jeff Bridges, an actor. So it doesn't matter how much I look like him.
Oh no! How did they put
Anyway,
you back on a plane straight away?
yeah, it was a lot of,
Why did we? Oops.
yeah.
Because when I was last in New York, staying at your place, I did see the big book that you put together about all the work your dad did. When did your dad die? What year?
He died in, I don't know, 97 or something like that.
Right. Yeah, because it's kind of, I was struck by two things: the diversity of the work, and secondly, how early he basically got started and was like at full pelt by the time he was like 21, right, or even younger. Uh,
Yeah. He, he, I would say, you would say, oh, he's the second generation of designers, but I think he was like more like the half the generation ahead of the original
yeah,
Norman Bell Geddes and all those Henry Dreyfuss and those people.
right.
But
And so Tucker, as I said at the top of the show, we've known each other a long time, and you've also written about the Remo store for Paper Magazine, and you referred to it as the Einstein of stores, which is kind of something that I kind of almost made a tagline for the business because it was so good. Now, of course, we're less focused on selling things and more focused on telling stories. And you've been involved in watching that from the get-go. How do you think it's going? And I'm particularly referencing the new Substack, which I'll talk about more with Claudia next week. But it's early days then, and I'm still trying to work out exactly what the rhythm of the communications is there. Are you pleased the way it's working? Or, by the way, if you say negative stuff, I'm going to cut it out, so don't worry about it.
No, well, I think like I'm becoming maybe a Luddite or something. I think there's too many different venues for stuff nowadays. So even like email or communicating with my people at work, I have like Slack or email or text and I got somebody sends me a cool picture and I go, I can't find it again because I don't know where they sent it.
Which channel it came in.
Yeah. And I hope that AI will be able to, I'll just go like, where's that picture? And it'll go, here
Well,
it is, sir.
Johnny Ive will design something that will kind of go around your neck like a choker, and you'll just be able to talk to. Well, I wasn't planning to ask you about that, but what's your vibe on the Johnny Ive ChatGPT hookup? Have you been following that?
Oh yeah, he's he's a big hero of industrial designers, and there's not that many designers who get to design so many beautiful things that are in so many people's hands, and so he he deserves a lot of credit for that. And so, but I think it's also tricky to figure out what the next huge thing is going to be. Remember when the Segway was going to transform transportation?
I know. What a dud that was. What a dud that was.
I
Yes.
like riding them though.
It's just, it's just for tourists and the security guards. Now, we've done a story on Segway. I can't remember what book it's in, but did you know that the guy that bought the company died, ironically, while he was on a Segway? He got too close to the edge of a cliff, was getting out of someone's way. So that's not what you want to go down into the history books. Teaching as you do at the School of Visual Arts, or
Parsons.
what are you Parsons? Are you teaching industrial design? And
Yeah.
and are the students, how are they wrapping their heads around AI? Are they incorporating it into their work, or?
Well, since I'm teaching industrial design, they I think a bunch of them use ChatGPT to help them write their things, but that's okay because they're not supposed to be writers. It's when they use it to design their projects, then it gets a little more iffy or questionable. And I don't think that any of my students this year used it very effectively, or so they didn't really use it at all then. But I think in the future, there's going to be lots of opportunities for them to use it, and I hope it's going to make better design.
Have you become skilled at detecting when someone has used something like ChatGPT to actually generate a design solution?
Well, so far that it's easy because they have like Trump in it or something like that, or some bogus thing that obviously is not real. But I think we've been using it at work to generate ideas, and I think so far the ideas, it's interesting to have a bunch of different ideas, but it's also like they're not really that great of an idea.
Well, I mean, here's a confession. I used it yesterday just to see what it would come up with in terms of ideas for topics for the next book, because I've still got a bit of room, and I get suggestions from people that I see in the street or in the sauna. But I I uploaded a list of topics from the first few books, and I said, okay, so based on this randomness, can you suggest some ideas for me? First of all, it came back with sort of an analysis of what kind of things I was looking for, and it was pretty spot on. And then it suggested a bunch of ideas, and some of them, as it's all about curating, sorting out the sugar from the shit, right? But there were a couple of things that I've, like yesterday, I wrote about Japanese manhole covers, and I have to say that idea came from that list. So there you go.
See, so
I'm gonna
I think it's useful. Yeah, a few years ago when it first came out, I interviewed it about industrial design because, I'm always trying to find out, make a clear expression of what industrial design is. And it had a pretty good description. And so then I, asked it other questions and stuff. And then at the end I said, so is it okay if I use this interview, publish it in a magazine? And that it goes, yeah, it's fine, because since I'm not a person, I can't copyright anything, so it's free for you to use. And then it goes, good luck with your publication.
I know. Well, I was actually trying to figure out how to properly credit the LLM or whatever you call it. If it helps you with writing a paragraph or something. And also, this is a little bit off topic, but not exactly.
Hey, wait a minute. Nothing's off topic with you.
I created a new T-shirt design yesterday called "Four-legged Fish with Four Legs." Fish with four legs. And the backstory there is that when if you recall, when I was staying with you recently, I went out to Bensonhurst with Douglas Riccardi to accompany him on a fish buying expedition for his Easter lunch. And in our conversation, he said that for whatever reason, he didn't eat meat anymore. And I said, what's meat? And he said, well, anything with four legs. So I asked ChatGPT to draw me a fish with four legs, which I then kind of sent to him as a bit of a provocation and piss take. And it was kind of an interesting, cool looking thing. And so I decided to make a T-shirt out of it today or yesterday, and I'll put that up on the screen. You can see it. But
Right.
Who designed it? Who do I credit? Who are the thousands of creators that the AI used to generate this kind of earthy image of a fish with four legs coming out of its body? That's the question.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of like one time I was telling this friend of mine about, I had this dream where I described this design that was in it, and I said, I was talking about how really great it is, and he goes, you designed that. And I go, no, but it was in a dream. It was, and he goes, no, but you made that up in your dream. So I think it's similar with the AI. You get credit for what
For the prompt
was, and
right. Okay.
nobody else did it. So
anyway, that's a gnarly one for people to think about. But
I think it's good to somehow give credit to it, though, so it doesn't look like, oh my God, Remo can draw now or whatever.
Yeah, look at that fish.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, anyway, short, sharp, and shiny. We're probably done for today. I'll
Great.
All right. So that's all for this week's episode of REMORANDOM. See you later. Nice to chat to you, Tucker. Bye.
Likewise. Bye.